It's a 1909S VDB. You can see the VDB down here on the right. A little bit of glare from the camera, but overall a good picture. Grading should be fine with this. And just looking at it myself, I am not a professional grader. Looking at millions of images, I'm getting okay with it. But you can see there's some pretty good detail here. I'm not seeing where. I think this is MMS state. But what we're really going to focus in on here are the grades, how we grade. So CoinAiLyzer looks at grades in 7 different ways. Think about it this way. With your senses, the more senses confirm something, the more you believe it's real. So let's take a rose, for instance. If you have a rose that you're looking at, your eyes say it's a rose. And you're not sure it's a rose, or maybe it's a fake rose, or maybe it's some cool 3D picture of a rose, right? So then you smell it, and you're like, it smells like a rose. So now you're more likely to think that it's actually a rose. With CoinAiLyzer, the more senses we can get on the grade to say, yes, this is what grade we say it is, the more confident we are that it is that today. The first thing that CoinAiLyzer does is it goes through with a tier classifier. So this is an AI whose only job is to say, is this circulated, is it uncirculated, or is it proof? In this case, it went through and it said, boom, this is uncirculated, therefore it's mint state. Then we have a where router, and that goes through, and this where router actually focuses in on specific features per coin and looks for where using a custom vision AI that I've developed. And in this case, it looks and it says, I do not see anywhere, therefore this is mint state. Then the actual grades come in, where the graders look and try to give it an exact Sheldon grade. So you see a obverse and reverse get slightly different grades here. That is extraordinarily usual. That the where is a tiny bit different between the two. What is unusual is if they're very different. If they're very different, we will flag that. And sometimes when you see a range instead of a single grade on CoinAiLyzer, it's because some of these AIs disagree, and front and back disagreeing would definitely be one of those. And now, if you've watched this far, I'm letting you in on a secret new grading that we're working on. This is called soft label. Now, this way of grading is showing really good promise, but it's in its very early stages. So I have it in what's called shadow mode. Shadow mode is where I get to see the results, but you don't. Eventually, I want you to see the results, but not until I'm more confident that it's going to work. It combines the where and the other ways I do things into one and gives me an exact Sheldon grade. So in this case, it's saying that this is a 63.992. Of course, it's a little different than the 65, 66 that was given by the other grader, but still fairly close. I'm working on this. It will take a fair amount of time to get this done, but it is exciting. It so far seems really, really good. We'll see how it goes. But this also confirms that at least it's mint state and the grade is close. This embedding gate, what it's really doing is it's taking a look at this coin, looking at the nearest neighbors for it, and seeing if they all are at least generally in the right area. It's really it's not a great way to grade, but it's a good double check to make sure that the grade is approximately in the right boundary. This grade flag for modern coins, we see a systemic overgrading in a very specific set of circumstances having to do with lighting and denoising. And this is an AI that's trained specifically to recognize that condition and to knock down the grade in that condition so that we're not giving erroneous overgrades. There's also a grade cliff guard. There are certain coins where going up certain grades can really ramp up the price tremendously. And we do have a check in there that if it's we're going to hit that cliff guard, then it's going to give a little bit more of a caveat that like this could be either, you should check it out. There's a lot more that goes into the entire process here, but as far as the actual grade, the point to take away is more senses are better. The more the senses agree, the more likely it is to be correct.